So, today, I did a thing. In real life, I touched grass. That's right, I touched grass specifically on the other side. The other side of the political aisle, that is. What I'm referring to is the Northeast Women's Republican Club, something, gathering, I forget. Northeast Women Republican thing in Ohio. And I saw a couple days ago that they were having a meeting today at 11 a.m. And it was a $30 entry fee for like lunch and stuff, and I wasn't about to pay that, so I just kind of walked up to the door and was like, okay, whatever happens, happens. If they turn me away at the door, then I tried, right? So anyway, I get to the door, and I decided I wanted to go and just kind of interview people, right? That was my purpose, is just go and interview people and kind of get their perspective on things. And unfortunately, here's how the audio turned out.
So let's make Ohio the best place in the country to live.
Oh, really?
So,
Okay.
years ago, Ohio had like 20.
I guess it's not like as bad as I remember, but it's kind of dog shit. So I'm not going to go through the whole thing. And what I was going to do, my plan was to send all of this footage to Dubsy and like let them make a compilation out of it, like a nice production out of it. But the audio is just so dog shit that like I don't really want to do that anymore. So instead, what I'm going to do is I've decided I am going to release this on an unlisted YouTube link. This is why you get a directional mic. Listen, I got some cheap mics from Best Buy. I thought they worked well. They did not. So I would have been better off just using my phone. So anyway, what I'm going to do is I'm just going to go through this. I'll try to listen to some part, like it gets really bad at some parts. So I'll try to listen to some parts because there was some really funny and revealing conversation that I had. But the first thing, like I said, I'll put the whole thing in an unlisted YouTube link for you guys to watch. If there are any audio editors out there who want to try to work with this and make something useful out of it, be my guest. You can upload it to your own channel. You can message me and shill it, whatever. It doesn't matter. But if anybody can make this better than what it is, feel free. Seriously. Anyway, here's this. So this guy actually was very nice. I liked him a lot. I liked his vibe. He was a great guy. Well, just, you know, from talking to him. He's a sweet old man, right? And he's really about Vivek Ramaswamy. I didn't really pull his leg too much. I didn't really converse with him that much. So I just talked to him a little bit about Vivek, and then he went back inside. I'm kind of, just to give you an idea, I'm kind of hanging out in the corner here. And, you know, just like people are kind of coming up to me and like asking, you know, about me and what I'm doing here. And I explain it to them, tell them I'm a YouTuber. I told them my name. I'm Alec Gunter on YouTube. My guess is that at some point somebody actually looked me up and kicked me out. So anyway, this nice lady comes over. It wasn't a very interesting conversation with her. You can barely understand it. So she's saying that trans people should wait until they're 25 to do anything. I then asked about, well, what about alcohol? You know, we allow alcohol at 21. And then she immediately backpedaled and was like, well, maybe 21, sometime between 21 and 25. So I don't hate her as much as I hate the next guy, but you can tell that like she's got some pretty, you know, flip-floppy positions on trans people and hasn't really thought about it that much. As you can see here, I'm just trying to find a place to set up. I asked the people at the table where I can set up, and they're like, well, we have to ask our leader or whatever. And I never really got a stand set up, so I just did first-person interviews. So here's this guy, and he's my favorite because he was kind of a soft-spoken gentleman, but he had some strong opinions about trans people, and we'll see if we can glean anything out of this shit audio.
Women's roles in the
Oh yeah, he's talking about women's roles. I got him to say that like there's like that like women have like natural roles in society, you know, like that kind of shit, like fundamentalism.
Okay, work ideology. So when you say that, can you give me like an example or something that you gotta get?
I just can't believe how dog shit it is. I'm so mad. I'm so mad. Well, I don't know why it's picking up the rubbing so much. Like, I think that it was like trying to detect audio from the thing I had plugged in. Yeah, I'm sorry. I know. This is why I can't do anything with it. I'm just trying to show you, I'm trying to narrate this as best I can and show you guys that I actually did go and try to make something out of this. But alas, you know, shit happens. This is my first attempt. We'll make it happen next time. I am going to something else tomorrow. I'll talk about that in a second. Okay, so I asked him, right? This is when I asked him, okay, let's say that you see somebody who, so I asked him if like, you know, about trans people in bathrooms, right? Like, should trans women be allowed to use the restroom? He said no. So I said, okay, let me propose to you a scenario. Say that you see somebody going into the women's restroom. You think that they're not a woman. What is your next course of action?
Myself, what is going on?
He said I would do nothing.
I don't know if I was taking action at all. No action at all?
No action at all.
Okay. What do you think about trans women in sports?
Trans women in sports.
I think that changes the definition of sports altogether. In terms of,
Changes the definition.
It's going to compete against two. And if somebody wants to establish a category, perhaps a trans category itself, I think that would be.
So he wants to establish a separate trans category.
Do you know how many trans athletes there are?
Ask him how many there are. I said there are fewer than 10 after this. Let me skip ahead a little bit. So what he's talking about, what we're talking about right now is I'm explaining, like, over a 2-year period, estrogen actually levels out any differences between trans and, I didn't say cis women, I said trans women and their counterparts, just because I didn't want to raise any red flags, right? You got to be very careful with their very soft, pudgy exterior.
All sports, more or less, are some kind of physical activity, right? Now, everybody's bodies defined by their genetics, established. You know that hormones play a role?
Oh, this is the part where I say that. Sorry, I don't know what it was before, but this is the part where I say what I just said. There are a lot of things people in this world with hormones that are dangerous, whether it's for gender or other. So I asked him if he thinks that so he inclined that hormone treatments are dangerous. I said, do you think it's dangerous? He said, there are lots of things that are dangerous. I said, okay, well, you think that if a doctor prescribes these treatments that it's still dangerous? And he said, well, I mean, just because a doctor does it doesn't mean it can't be dangerous. And I said, do you trust doctors?
Doctors make a good thing.
Yeah.
Doctors can be good or bad. What's your agenda on this?
He says, what's your agenda on this? This is the part where he catches on, right? He's like, okay, something's up here. Something's fishy.
I just asked a question. I don't like your questions.
I said, I'm just asking questions. He said, I don't like your questions.
I didn't mean to offend. I do not like your questions.
I said, I didn't mean to offend you.
I think it's a topic that's really not worth talking about. I better.
Well, I told them who I was. I told them I'm a political YouTuber, but I did not incline that I am like a leftist or progressive or anything like that. So I asked him about his biggest issue in schools, lack of classroom education. He said that, like, they're basically like, oh, math, science, we need to teach that better. I'm like, you don't think they're teaching it anymore? He says, well, I think they still are. He has no actual positions on anything is the point. I think I asked him a little bit about pronouns. I will bet dollars to donuts this is the guy that snitched on me, by the way. And then he leaves. Oh yeah, there was some point in there, whoever wants to can go back and review this, but there was some point in there where I basically got him to say, I've never really looked into this for myself. And I said, oh, you've never looked into it for yourself, but you have opinions on it? Like, dude, come on. Anyway. The next lady, this one was not that interesting, to be honest. I kind of let her ramble a little bit. I was being very softball. I was being extraordinarily softball, especially with her. So there's really not a whole lot to see here. I just kind of let her ramble. And then what happens is this lovely fellow comes over.
So how do you feel about how are you?
I'm doing fine. You want to?
And he interrupts us.
I wanted to ask you for partner contact.
I forget what he's saying. It doesn't matter. He's just trying to get her off of me.
Mark. Oh, okay. All right. Yeah, I think I'm done because I gotta get back in there for the meeting to start.
Okay, no worries.
Okay.
Thank you so much for the
And then he leads me to the door. So what's so funny, right, is this guy comes back. This guy's trying to escort me out, right? What's his name again? Hold on. I have a picture. My policy obviously is don't harass, don't stalk. If I hear any of that happening, you're banned permanently, period, end of story. But this is the guy, his name is Standish Fortin, and he is a financial consultant. So, you know, nice cushy job, and also Republican. Very nice stuff. And what he decided to do was try to escort me out. Now, he has no actual jurisdiction in the Women's Republican Club here, but he just took it upon himself to be the big, strong man and escort me out himself. So let's go back to the video, see what's going on. This guy comes over while he's trying to escort me out and says, "We're about to get started. Do you want to come in?" And I said I would love to.
What? No, why not? What? Is there a problem?
Your place to do that.
It's my
It is not your place to do that.
You know,
He said he would go and ask the leader.
You can wait outside.
We went outside.
right here.
Now.
Why's that? Did I do something
Last
wrong?
chance.
Did I do something wrong?
Last chance.
I'm so sorry, sir. If I did something wrong, please tell me.
Get out.
Puts his hand on me right here. This is where he puts his hand on me, by the way. He put his hand on my shoulder, tried to shove me out the door.
You're going.
Time to go? Get out.
And now he's calling the police. Call the police! No! No! We're being harassed! No! They're asking us questions that make us uncomfortable! No! No! Please, please, no! And yeah, that's about it. So that summarizes what happened today at the Northeastern Women's Republican Convention Club, whatever it's called. So much for free speech, right? Anyway, this was something that was very easy for me to find via Google search. Republican organizations exist all over the country. I recommend that you look up your local ones and just go and check them out, you know, see what they're all about. They have events going on. They usually have guest speakers. I'm going to another one tomorrow, as I mentioned earlier. I'm going to another one tomorrow. There's going to be a guest speaker there. I don't want to say who because I don't want to raise any red flags that, you know, my guess is that he looked me up, found out who because I was saying my name is Alec Gunter. My guess is that he looked me up, found out who I am, and said, "Oh, no," and then kicked me out. I could be wrong, but who knows? Anyway, he kicked me out for essentially doing nothing but standing in the corner and asking questions. And tomorrow I'll be going to another event where a radio speaker, a conservative radio host, will be giving some kind of presentation or speech or something, and he will take questions afterwards. So I have a very lovely question planned out for this man, and we'll see how he responds. But like I said, that's about it. If you are looking to get active in unconventional ways, I think it's great to make these. Now, be safe about it, okay? Because you don't know what these people are capable of. And like I said, do not go there and cause violence. Do not go there and disturb anything, like out of, you know, don't be reasonable. Like all I did was go there and ask questions. All I did was go there and ask some people some questions. That's all I did. Okay. And then they kicked me out. Okay. If you can demonstrate that you did not do anything wrong whatsoever, and then they kick you out, that's great for you. That's content. Okay. Just post it and say, look, they kicked me out for doing nothing. All I did was ask questions. It's great. If you cause violence, if you cause purposeful disruptions, if you make a scene out of it, don't wear like, you know, shirts like this, praying for all you hoes. Bad idea. But, you know, like just be inconspicuous and then ask people some questions and raise some, you know, rile up some feathers. I highly recommend you guys do that. I think the Republicans are getting far too comfortable right now, especially considering they're not doing any more town halls, which is disgusting to me. So we might as well just meet them where they're at, right? Go stir up the cockroach nest and have fun, guys. Hey, thanks for watching. If you enjoyed the video, please be sure to hit the like button, subscribe if you want to see more, hit the notification bell to be notified when I upload. If you enjoy my content, you enjoy what I do, I really appreciate any financial help that I can get. Go to youtube.com/AlecGunterTTV/join. You got some awesome benefits, such as seeing early videos, awesome emotes that you can use in the comments of YouTube videos, and a sweet badge next to your name. So if that sounds interesting to you, I'd really appreciate if you join. It is cheaper than the cost of a blowjob from your mom. So with all that being said, thank you again for watching, and I'll see you all in the next video.